It's not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tyrone Lowe. This is my show, The Legends. And before I start my show, I want to thank everybody that tunes in and give me love. I thank you guys for supporting me, and I thank you guys very much. Today, we have an artist that's been around for a very long time and sensational act. And I give to you Mr. Andy Stokes.
Hey, hello, hi, hello. How's
Hey, how
everybody?
are you, man? How you
I'm
feeling
good.
today?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me on
Great.
the show. Yeah.
Thank you for being on my show, The Legends, and you know, thank you.
Yeah. Oh, you're
So we're going to
welcome.
start from the beginning with you, Andy. How you actually got singing? Because um, tell the viewers about the California Raisins. Let's start with
Well,
that.
okay. I was with a group called Coolar, and we had just got signed with A&M Records. And so in 1989, I was contacted by Will Vinton. He had heard me sing at a show, and he came and asked me if I wanted to be one of the voices for the California Raisins.
Hmm.
And so I went to the studio and did several songs, and then they ended up releasing a CBS TV special, and that's how that came. It basically came out of nowhere. I was very surprised. It's like,
And how
what?
mhm. And how long did it? How far did it take you at that point?
Oh, it boosted my career significantly. It boosted my name, and it ran until the California Raisins kind of died out. So it still comes up once in a while. Still, the commercial comes up once in a while. So yeah,
Yeah.
so it was a long time, man. So
Okay.
it was great.
So how did you actually get into singing? I mean, what made you have that common interest in the
Well,
craft?
my father was the music guy in the
Hmm.
family, and we would every Saturday. My father was in the military, so and every Saturday he would pull out his the records and turn on our hi-fi and play all the various artists from James Brown to Percy Sledge to whoever it was back then, and I realized I had a voice that I could carry a note in like a sophomore year in high school. And so
Hmm.
I just started singing around the house. My family is a sports family.
Okay.
My dad was all everything. I ended up getting a football scholarship, which took me to Oregon from the state of Washington. And so I just, sang and messed around with it for a long time. And try to tell you a quick story.
Hmm.
I was doing landscaping work, and after working with this club called the Chase Lounge out in Beaverton, and the owner, Pete Tomanici, nobody was ever there on Thursday, so I got to know the DJ. So I started just ad libbing,
Okay.
ad libbing the songs like I used to do in my room and everything, ad libbing. And he asked me, "Hey man, why don't you do that? For a couple of songs, I'll pay you $50." I said, "Man, I'm not singing in front of nobody. I'm just singing in front of you guys."
I hear
Like,
you.
yeah, like that. And so then, so we came back that Friday night, having a good time, and dancing and whatever. And then all of a
Hmm.
sudden, the DJ Billy Bump goes, "Hey, we just got a singer just arrived for his debut in Vegas, and he's here tonight to, debut for you." So I'm looking around to see who the artist is, and
Right.
then the spotlight hit me, and Tyrone, I froze.
I know they
I,
put you on the
I
spot,
They put me on the spot.
huh?
I froze, and so his name is Andy Stokes and everything. So everybody's screaming and hollering, and finally got to the DJ booth, and I said, "Well, where am I gonna stand?" So the first time I sang in front of somebody, in front of all
Wow.
these people, was standing on a chair in the DJ booth at ad libbing to Ring My Bell.
Ring My Bell by
Yeah,
Anita Ward.
yeah, exactly.
Well,
Yeah,
that's very peculiar for a male to be singing "Ring My Bell." That
yeah,
must have
but
been
it's
kind of
just
weird.
so back in the day they had the instrumental version and all that.
Yeah,
So I was
yeah.
just I was making up words, and the people dug it. And so, I did it, a couple of weekends. I sang, and he, paid me the money. And
Right.
then the third time I went to go do it, it was a guy named Ben Wolf. He
Okay.
comes up to me. He goes, "Hey, we got a band and we need a lead singer." And I went, "Oh, why not?" That's exactly what I did.
Right.
I said, "Oh, okay, why not?" So got in a band with Ben Wolf and called Nightlife, and we played one gig downtown. And from there, the other bands who were very popular got to hear me, and so I went from there to Lights Out and then to Coolar, and we ended up getting went down and played at the Roxy in LA, ended up getting signed with Herb Alpert. And
Oh,
then
wow. Okay.
later on went to Lou Adler's label, Old Records. And
Okay.
so now Ben Wolf is a professor at Juilliard, and he played with Harry. He was a bass player for Harry Connick. So we've all done pretty good.
Oh, that's pretty good. So you had
Yeah.
a single called "Test of Time." You want to tell the viewers about that?
Yeah, I met these two producers out of El Cerrito, California,
Mm-hmm.
and they had this series of songs, and that song "Test of Time" was there, and that one kind of just, I'm a ballad guy. I like singing ballads, so that
Right.
one
Right.
just registered with me, and so came back to Portland after recording it. I was doing a lot of stuff with the Portland Trail Blazers with the Boys and Girls Club,
Mm-hmm.
and so we went on Z100 radio show, and talking about the Girls and Boys Club, and they asked me, "Do you have any songs?" I said,
Mm-hmm.
"Well, I have one called Test of Time." And so then they invited me back,
Mm-hmm.
and they played the song on the radio, and the phone lines just lit up. And
Wow, that's
yeah,
amazing.
yeah. And so it lit up. And by that time, I'd made, a name around Portland. And they had a top 30 countdown, and I debuted at 29 and ended up finishing in top 10. And so that was
Wow,
my first time
that's
experiencing
amazing.
a
That's
chart,
amazing.
or yeah, thank
And
you.
that was your actual first recording, am I right?
Yeah, that's my first song that I ever knew what a chart was. So I didn't know. So, but top 10, and then after that, it was just, that made the name for myself. So I was just playing around town with the gig and working my day job. That's what I was doing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Coming up as a upcoming artist, what artists actually influence you? Because you said you like ballads, so you probably was listening to a lot of guys that were actually doing ballads at the time. So
What,
who's your a big influence?
well, of course, Luther, Peebo Bryson, um, um, who else? Mainly the Isley Brothers, all that. I came up in that era, and but don't I'm also a funkster too.
Right, right.
So,
Well, we're gonna get to
but
that in a minute.
yeah, but yeah, I just took to the ballads because when I realized I can move, I could sing, so I would
Hmm.
just listen to them and just put my own thing on it. And so I was influenced by Charlie Wilson and those three guys,
Right.
and and so I just, all those singers back there is inside of me. And so
Okay.
I just kind of made people say, "You sound like Charlie," or "You sound like Johnny
Right.
Gill," or "You sound like," and I said, "Well, yeah,
You know,
yeah." So
let's talk about Pleasure in 1986. Is that the same Pleasure that made Always There? Or
that's the Pleasure. I performed, the band that I was in, Coolar, was members of Pleasure after they broke
okay.
up.
All right.
Yeah. So I never was the lead singer of Pleasure. I just played
Okay.
with Bruce Carter, Nate Phillips, and so they formed the band Coolar after they broke up, and that's
Okay.
yeah. So then we were playing around town, got very popular, and had a hit song called Dangerous, and which did very well, and then so then we broke up.
Hmm.
Went to had a song out that was Victim that I wrote. That was my first single that a record label picked from my song to be the single, but it did okay, didn't do very well. We went to Japan and had a good run over there, and as I was singing,
Hmm.
I see napkins coming from the left side from the stage.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and who's doing napkins? So at the end of the show, this person's walking over to me, I looked up and it's Charlie Wilson,
Really?
and he hugged me, and
Okay.
he said, I don't know what you're doing right now. He
Mhm.
said, but you need to go home and develop your own style because you got something special in that throat.
Okay.
And so he told me that. So he was over there with the Eurythmics.
Mhm.
And so, and I just looked at him. He said, I'm serious about what I'm saying.
Wow.
He said, and so then he left. So as I walked off the stage, George Clinton, Amp Fiddler, Troop, Timex Social Club, Phyllis Hyman, everybody was there.
Wow.
And so George, as I'm coming down the stairs, George looked at me and said, F you. I said, F you.
That sounds like George.
He goes, F you. I said,
Uh-huh.
F you. And then Amp Fiddler comes over and said, no, man, no. He said, boy, you were singing your behind off, man. He said, so we met everybody, Gary Scheider, all the, the knuckleheads in the band.
Right.
And then Amp Fiddler and I hung out downtown Tokyo, just talking and getting to know each other, invited me to the show.
Mm-hmm.
And I got sent on side of the stage while they were doing their thing. And then Eddie Hazel walks over and said, George wants you on stage. And,
Really?
I'm going, damn, okay. So went on stage, George handed me the mic and said, I'm tired. You front the band for the rest of the night. Then they went into Atomic Dog. I lost my mind, bro.
I could imagine.
I lost my mind. And so, finished the show. It was, only did like 2 songs and they were done. And then afterwards, George comes and said, hey, come break bread with me. I said, okay. So we, went and sat down to get some food and everything. He go, what you doing? And I said, excuse me. He said, what are you doing? I said, I'm trying to navigate this music industry. He said, well, I'm going to tell you like this. Go home and develop that style that you singing. Because, man, he said, that's something else, brother. That's something else. He said, I don't know. He said, I don't know how long it's going to take you, but you got to go get it.
Well, we're going to take a slight little break right now, and we're going to listen to something by Andy Stokes. And don't give a damn, So you guys enjoy. We'll be right back.
It's not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.
We got some fun people in the house tonight.
Really down, playing the games you do. Someday, everything will be alright. Know that different people make the world go round.
Because of you, my dreams are coming true.
That erases my rainy day.
Right now, I don't care who's watching.
For whatever the reason there might be.
With your love by my side, the world will be mine. You're the one for me.
Yeah.
Have you ever met someone who was just so fine, about to make you lose your mind and all self-control? You see, I had a good woman at home. I took a chance with the roll of the dice. Now I'm living here all alone. Oh, what a sacrifice. I got caught creeping when I should have been sleeping, calling on some favors. Now I got my walking papers. Why did did I go slip and slide now? My relationship was compromised, and you know the grass ain't greener on the other side. I don't give a damn of what they say when they say. I don't give a damn what I gotta do to get back with you. I wanna hear you call out my name. Gotta do what I gotta do, girl, to get back with you, girl. I remember mama preaching out, son, don't you ever go and hurt no one. If you got a good woman at home, you better keep it right. You see, my mama can't help it now. I've gotta show you the only one. I gotta open my eyes to make a love survive. Yeah, I got caught straying. Girl, I shouldn't have been playing. Indebted to my baby. You gotta take care of me, lady. Whoa. Now I understand the circumstance. Girl, I'm begging for another chance. You know the grass ain't greener on the other side. I don't give a damn of what they say. Baby, what they say. I don't give a damn what I got to do to get back with you. Gotta get back with you, girl. Calling out my name, baby. Calling out my name, girl. What I gotta do, girl, to get back with you. I don't give a damn of what they say. I don't give a damn what I gotta do. What I gotta do, girl, to get back with you.
Hey, and we're back. My name is Tyrone Lowe. This is my show, The Legends, and we're here with Andy Stokes.
Hey, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing out there?
So, Andy,
Yes.
let's talk about how you got inducted into the Oregon Music Hall of Fame. I think that's kind of epic. So, you want to share that?
Sure. I was the first time I went in, I was with the band Coolar. And
Okay.
like I said, we were very, very popular, because of Nate and Bruce Carter, who later went on to play with Kenny G.
Mhm.
And Nate ended up going back to play with the Dad's band. But yeah, we were holding it down, man. We were playing lines around the corner, just making a bunch of noise, doing,
Right.
having the success as local artists, And
Okay.
so the Oregon Music Hall of Fame came to us and said, "Hey, we would like to induct you," and that was the first time. And then that band broke up. I went solo. After talking with Charlie and George,
Right.
they let me know I was good enough because I was
Mhm.
green. I was very, very green when I came in. I didn't know nothing, man. I just had that
Okay.
voice. I didn't know nothing about the business or whatever. So, and second time I went in on my own merit as an artist in 2018 after having the big record and with best day ever and stuff. So, and yeah, it was when they called me, I was sitting at home, man, and I kind of dropped to my knees and just like, wow,
Wow.
and
That's
got
amazing.
emotional and said, I never thought, I'll be honest with you, I was a football player. There's no way that I thought I would even be doing the music thing.
Mhm.
That's on this level, man. So I'm very grateful. I'm very humbled. I'm very grateful. God gave me this voice, and I've been,
Mhm.
I didn't get here by myself. I had a
Right.
lot of people. I had a lot of people who taught me, and all the musicians I played with are my teachers, and that's, and I learned from them, and then developed my own style, and and I'm blessed to. I'm here talking with you now. So
Right. And that's cool. I
yeah.
guess we're
So
both blessed, huh?
yes, sir. Hmm.
So, Andy, you did a lot of live performance. Tell the viewers about some of the live performances that you have done and some of the places that you've been.
My favorite live performance when I played at Tom Joyner Family Reunion Show in Orlando.
Okay.
It was me, Frankie Beverly and Mays, and Beb Biv DeVoe, and it was just when like I said before, I never thought I would be doing this, and the next thing I know that I'm on stage with these guys that I had records at home of, you
Right.
know, and all of a sudden now I was opening up, but I didn't care. It's like, wow, I'm here with I'm here, I'm here,
You here with the
and
heavyweights.
I'm with the heavyweights, man, and man came out there and put on a great show, and voices intact, and you couldn't ask for a better night. And then second time was in Columbia, South Carolina.
Hmm.
We played. It was Ro James, the Hamiltons, and Peebo Bryson and myself.
Okay.
And so I'm standing backstage. I'm telling you, man, like a little kid in the candy
I
factory,
can
going, "Wow,
imagine.
man!" And so those that was the second standout for me. And then I got to go to just Augusta, Georgia.
Okay.
Big James Brown fan.
All
So to be
right.
in
All
Augusta,
right.
Georgia, I got to do an interview in his first radio station, and so we did a show, and it was SOS Band, Peebo
Hmm.
Bryson, Full Circle, the Hamiltons, Ro James, all of us. About 8, 9 acts was there,
Hmm.
and so those three stand out. And what the fourth one is the Waterfront Blues Festival in Portland, 37,000 people. So
Wow. That's amazing.
yeah,
That's
man,
amazing.
yeah. So it's great, man. Great, great, great.
So tell the viewers about Let's Have a Good Time, that track. How did you come about that? And, you know, how
Well,
did that
that
come
track.
about as far as your production?
Well, I was um, working with Marlon McLean, also a pleasure,
Hmm.
and it was the late Ralph Stacey. Uh, he's a producer that he produced Luther and a lot of other acts, Johnny Gill,
Right.
and they heard me sing, and I got to go to L.A. and
Hmm.
do a series of songs. That's the Full Circle record,
Hmm.
um, and he came with me with this song. He said, "I got this upbeat song. Let me see what you think."
Hmm.
And I said, "You played it." Of course, I loved it and sang on it, and and that record did pretty good. Did pretty good. It did really good. So yeah, but Ralph Stacey,
Hmm.
amazing producer. Bless his heart. Rest in peace. He
Hmm.
got hit with the COVID and lost his
Wow.
life. Yeah,
So sorry to hear.
yeah, man. But I mean that again, getting to be around great people that
Right.
helps you elevate your game.
Most
So
definitely.
so yeah.
The game has changed from back then to now, especially the business aspect of it. Do you want to share on that?
Well, the business of the music, the business of music is always going to be changing. You know, when I was coming up, it benefited the record companies until people were allowed to, start their own record companies
Hmm.
because it was not a happy thing. Because I got caught up myself to where you sign with the record label and then all of a sudden they just drop you for no reason. You stuck somewhere and nowhere to get home.
Wow.
So now I'm at the point where I own my own label.
Okay.
Everything is done in house. And the money comes here, and then I have a team around me now that we
Right.
all trust each other. So it's a lot different than it was back there. You have more. You have more control of your destiny.
Hmm.
If you got the marketing money to do it.
Right. They have a lot of upcoming artists coming up right now. And is there anything that you can actually suggest to them to encourage them, about the craft itself?
Yes. I always say first, learn the business, learn the business, learn the business. Be true to yourself. Okay. Don't be afraid to ask for help if you don't know,
Hmm.
because you'll be surprised how many people that are big stars. They if they see you sincere and you're really about your work, they will
Right.
they will help you, and then have thick skin. Okay. And you got to have thick skin in this business. So and be passionate. Be
Right.
yourself. Be yourself. You know, not all. It's a tough road to get to the top, but
Hmm.
the main thing, you getting into it because you love to do what you do. You love to sing. You love to play. You love to be a musician, and that's the bottom line. All that other stuff, without that
Right.
passion that you had before, you know, just love yourself, love your music, learn the business.
So Andy, let's talk about some current events. Tell the viewers about what you might want to be doing next, and some things that you're going to be doing. Let's share on
Well,
that.
well, we're just, like I said, we just released "I Don't Give a Damn." It's starting to make some noise now, and
Right.
I'm looking forward to going on tour. That's
Okay.
what I want to go on tour so bad. I want to get out there and experience it. I've yet to experience a tour with a full band and you know doing 15, 20 cities.
Right.
COVID stopped that in 220. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward for this record to do well. So start getting the calls to, hey, we want you to come to this city and that city and set up a nice 2-month tour and get out there and let the people see what I can do.
Well, I believe it's going to happen for you. I mean, if God took you this far, I believe He's going to take you even further.
Well,
You
thank you
know,
for that.
because sometimes we have things that we do, but we just don't know how far it's actually going to extend. You know what
Absolutely.
I'm saying?
Yes.
So, do you want to shout out to anyone?
Shout out to Michael Hawthorne, PWG. Shout out to my beautiful wife. Without her, I wouldn't be here. And shout out to all my fans in Portland and the Pacific Northwest, back east, all over the world. Thank you for supporting me, and follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Andy Stokes Music, and Facebook, facebook.com/Get Stoked is my artist page. And I just want to say to everybody, I'm humble and grateful that, I'm here today to, be able to share my music and everyone is liking it. And that means a lot.
Well, I want to thank you for being on my show, Andy, and being very informative. I wish you the best of luck, and
Thank you.
somewhere along the line, come back.
Oh no, I would love to come back, man. I'm just a phone call away. Now, we friends now, and so
Right. So
just
thank you for sharing a lot. About the ups and downs and some of the things that surprised you. But
yeah.
God works in mysterious ways, so you shouldn't be surprised.
No, he does. He does all day, every day. So,
Yeah.
but yes, sir, it was a pleasure to meet you, Tyrone. And anytime you need me to come back, like I said, just a phone call away. And I don't know what city you're in, but if I'm ever in that city, we should link up.
Oh yeah, I'm in New York City. Well, listen,
Okay.
this has been another T-Lo video production, and you guys stay tuned for another episode. This is my guest, Andy Stokes. What can I say?
It's not just mine, it's on her house. This is our house.
We got some fun people in the house tonight.
This is our house. It's not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.